I don't think so. No, it's not giving me the signals. There we go. I believe we are live. Let me test. If you are seeing us and we are live and seeing it before I do, say hi. Okay, there we go. We are live officially.
Yay.
Okay. Happy Wednesday.
It is. It is Wednesday.
Is that my phone? Do you hear the background like thing? Like,
no.
Sorry, guys. I like hear that echo of your own voice. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yes. No, I don't hear it.
Okay. Well, then hopefully nobody else does either. If you do, well, then you just get double Lori today, right?
It's all good. Double Lori's not a bad thing.
It's not. I think that that is like a perfectly wonderful thing. So welcome to Redefining Entrepreneurship, everybody. Myself and Mara Leitner, who is the local business problem-solving strategist, and that she is. And we are here to talk to you a little bit about what it means to redefine entrepreneurship and ultimately what it means to do business your way. So we started this conversation last month for those who were tuning in, and just wanted to take that to another level today too, and talk about not only what it means to do business your way, but how do you actually start doing that? Because I think it's something that everybody's like, oh yeah, I want to do it my way, but what the hell does that mean?
Yeah. There's so many options out there now. So it's like, well, great. This is awesome. I have this opportunity and I'm going to do it my way and I'm going to do that. Okay, now what? Like, how do I go about this thing? And typically people will start out with, you have a passion, you have something you're trying to build, you have a vision, you're going after this thing and you're plunging right on in and you're going to buy the courses and you're going to buy the classes and the ebooks and the things that are going to tell you all the magic sauce about how to make 10,000 in 2 days or all of the
2 hours. Yeah.
2 hours. I don't know, make 10,000 without doing anything. I'm sure there's something like that too, but buy all of the shiny objects and the things that make all of these promises, and you're going to educate yourself and you're going to do all of these things. And while not downing those things, well, I'm sure it sounds like I am, they work and they can work for some people. But what the problem with some of these kind of canned courses and things is there's no guidance on how to acclimate that thing to you, right? And it's only going to work if you can customize it to you. And so that's kind of the piece that's missing. And I see a lot of people, they do all of these things and the shiny objects and all of this, really to still be left with questions and confusion and frustration. And I just need answers. Like, how do I do this thing? Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, I actually see this too. This isn't just like, I think a lot of people think, well, I can't talk about this feeling either. Like, it should work. This should work for me. I should be further along, because a lot of the times this isn't happening to people at the beginning of their businesses. It's happening to people who've been in business, who've been making money, who have had clients. And then they're just like, what the fuck?
Right? It's whether you're in the beginning, whether you're in the middle. I mean, you could have had all kinds of success and had things figured out or seemingly had it figured out. And at some point in your journey, you're going to hit a point where, what? I'm not a stupid person, but something isn't right. Like, this is just, it's not feeling right. You may start to go down the overwhelm burnout route, but that could also be a symptom of you're not doing it your way. You're not doing your business and running your business in a way that's aligned with you. And so whether you're starting out, whether you're $500,000, $1 million, $5 million, It can happen at any point in time.
Absolutely.
Doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. Doesn't mean you're broken or you're stupid or you're like nothing.
Mhm.
It means all it is a red flag to you to say, hey, step back. And it's your time to actually take a look at everything that you have going on. Have your priorities in life shifted? Has your vision shifted? Has who you want to serve shifted?
Mhm.
And it's okay that it does. It's not a problem. It's not a failure, but it can happen, right? But you have to take that as a sign to step back. And instead of like self-sabotage and beating yourself up, it's okay, universe, what are you trying to tell me?
Yeah.
And how can I do this now my way? Right. So we're going to share some tips on
Yeah.
how to actually start that journey.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to say, Kim, well, first of all, Patty said no echoes, so thank you. And Kim said, I've definitely been feeling the burnout lately. And yeah, the thing is there's a decent chance that you're doing a lot of things and you feel like this should be working. This should be easier. This should be better.
Mhm.
And you're doing the right thing. They may just not be the right things for you. And when you're not actually listening, as you were just saying, you're ignoring it. And you're saying, no, I don't hear you or I don't want to hear you. Sometimes I think it can be either because sometimes what's actually coming through is something that's hard, scary, feels impossible, etc., etc.
And you kind of go back into, okay, well, I'm going to get that course and I'm going to do that. You kind of go back into sort of desperation mode to reach at these straws to start solving this problem when you really need to be able to step back or get the right guidance to help you step back and take a look at everything, because you could be overwhelmed and burned out and it's a matter of you don't have the right team and systems and all of that and your support system on board. You could be burnt out though, probably a good component. That one took a minute to come up. The right components, but a big component of that could be you're still pushing the wrong things. You're still going after the wrong things for you.
Yeah. Whether it's the wrong people, the wrong offers, the wrong type of business. So, I mean, I know I had one client, like we worked together for a year. She was a web designer and I'm a web designer. I have to do the thing. I have to do this because this is what I wanted to do. The second she decided, no, I'm a bookkeeper, within 2 months, she went from 2,000 a month to like 12,000 a month. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's being able to step back and actually take a look and go, you know what? This is now turning into something I'm not from I want to do this to I have to do this. And when it turns more into I have to do this and there's no excitement about it anymore, it's really time to reevaluate. Like go deep if you need support and help to analyze that. Like, hey, what is it that I'm feeling? Is it just that I'm tired and burnout and I need some space and I really do have a passion about what I'm doing? But maybe there's a different way to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a different delivery system. You go from courses to masterminds, or you go from, single one-on-one to group. Like maybe it's time to kind of revisit how you deliver your expertise. Or maybe, like you said, with from web design to bookkeeper, there's a true passion that's in there that you haven't even tapped into yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
And once you tap into that, so how to do business your way is you have to tap into that. And chances are you're going to have to revisit and tap into that multiple times in your journey because it's going to change, it's going to evolve. But to start with doing business your way, you have to tap down to the core of what you're doing and why.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, for for those that are new to the Success Zone Facebook group, or those who are watching somewhere else, like we renamed the Facebook group recently, the Success Zone, which ultimately is Genius Zone, right? Like, because if you are not in your zone, if you're not doing what's right for you, and you're doing the wrong things, and you're just doing what you think everybody else, what worked for everybody else, what everybody else is doing, what you think you should be doing, you're not in your zone. You're not in your success zone, which means you might make money. Like you are, like you're already in your business, you're making money. Like in theory, people look at you probably and even think like, oh yeah, they're successful already in their business. But on the back end, you're not happy, you're stressed out, you're overwhelmed, you're just kind of at that breaking point. And I popped up before Kim's comment where she said, I think it's Kim, that said that a bit of self-sabotage and have a fear of success. And you're going to discover all sorts of things. And that's part of this process of redefining entrepreneurship and finding out what's right for you, is starting to not just say, well, what's wrong with my strategy? Why isn't my marketing working?
Yep.
Secret, it's not your marketing that's the problem. Yes, sometimes you might need to dial in your messaging, or you might need to be more visible. But the thing is the reason that those things are not working for you is because you are not dealing with the issues that you actually need to deal with. It's not your marketing that you need to fix. It's, okay, you're figuring out you have that fear of success. Okay, well, that's important. How do you move past that now and deal with that? Because once you do that, it's going to help you to recognize, okay, if I were successful, if I were already exactly where I wanted to be, how would my business look? How would I be doing things? What would I be doing differently? And it doesn't have to be, I'd be, going live 20 times a day, or I'd be doing 18 different master classes and challenges. You don't. And I honestly, you are not the client I was talking about, Kim, but you are a web designer. So I'm going to say this with the kindest heart, because I know you feel like I'm like calling you out when I do this. But 99% of people don't need a website. They don't need a sales page. They don't need the things that they are doing, that they are doing them because they think that's what's wrong in their business.
And instead of to step into your zone and to do business your way, because we all have this vision, and we're going to create this life, and we're going to be successful, and whatever that looks like for you. So it's different for everyone, but it starts with getting to know you. Like that's really what the core of this is some, and not to get all woo, but like really deep introspection. Like even if you're not into the woo, that's fine. Use tools that help you get to know you, how you work, how you function, how you think, how you personally can interact with the world. My tool happens to be human design. I'm a huge human design proponent, and I use it with my clients, but it's a tool, and it's one of many that teaches you about yourself so that you can take these tools and or get the help with people that can use these tools to go, okay, this is you. You function this way. Your passions are this. And while Sally over here may have the same passions, she doesn't function the same way that you do, right? So now that we know who you are, and now that we know what your passion is, now how do we create the offers that cater to your zone of genius? How do we create the marketing that goes with those core offers, right? How do we set up a system and a team and a foundation under you that works with you? So projectors, you're going to have to roll with your energy every day. Generators, you're going to have to put in boundaries so you don't burn yourself out and work 20 hours a day. So it's putting in the right pieces, but it starts with knowing you, right? You can't blame everyone else.
No. And the thing is I think so many, I'm going to say us, because I know I was in this camp, like so many of us started our businesses, and we were just like so excited to be doing it, and things went well, and it just, everything was just like, oh, it's so new and like wonderful. And then you get to this point where just it's not, and it just doesn't feel right, and it feels off. And a lot of people think, okay, there's something wrong with me. I'm doing something wrong. And that's why you go out and do all of these things, right? That's why you sabotage yourself. That's why you spend your time building things that don't really matter to you. That's why you spend your time selling offers that are like carbon copies of what everyone else is selling. Or literally, I know there's, some out there that are selling white label products with their name on it, and it's someone else's product, because it's not you. It's not your product. You don't feel aligned with that. It's not right for you. And when you're doing what's wrong, business is going to feel hard. It's not going to be as fun as it once was. You're not going to enjoy it as much, and you're not going to make the amount of money that you're actually really, really capable of making. Like, the difference between the person who's making 7 figures right now, doing the same type of work as you, and you who's down here making 50, 100, 150,000, whatever you're making, and why you're not where they are, is because they're doing it for the right reasons. You're doing it for the wrong.
Well, that's some bold. Yeah, it's it's so true though. You have to really figure out what your passion and your vision is. And you don't have to do it like everyone else. Where there's a fear of judgment, there's a fear of failure, there's fears of success. There's lots of fears that can jump in and hold us back, comparing yourself to other people. And listen, it happens to all of us. I get into it, I'm like, that person's doing something similar. And I'm like, wait a minute. It's similar, but it's not the same.
It's not you.
It's not me. They don't have my magic sauce, right? I bring my own twist to what I do. Good or bad, ask my clients, don't know. I bring my own twist.
All good. I am a client of hers, so I will share.
All good, but it's you bring your own magic sauce to what you do in your own zone of genius. And so it's getting the right support to put together with what you have figured out about yourself and what others can help you figure out about yourself, and then matching the right pieces. Because there's so many different options. There's so many different systems. There's so many people you can put on your team. There's so many marketing options. It is not, no offense, it's not just social media. It's not just, I have to have a website and I have to have a sales funnel and you put all this effort and I've got to have this before I ever focus on making the sale. Chances are, if you spent all of that time talking to someone, you'd make a sale a whole lot quicker than tweaking your website over here. Right? It's what activities do you have to prioritize after you have figured out who you are and what you're doing. And is that actually what you are supposed to be doing?
And I just want to add into that quickly, like when you talk about prioritizing, it's not always business tasks. I will fully admit for myself that I recognized that I was not prioritizing myself, in my business, and I wasn't, I was doing things for everybody else and not taking care of me. I wasn't making time to go for walks and to do tapping or meditation, like the things that actually light me up and that help me to succeed in my business, because I was so busy doing all of the things that I had to do.
Yep. It's, the old saying, less is more.
It's true.
It's so effing true. And I know it sounds, when people say that, it's like, whatever. Bullshit. Whatever. No. The reason you see people posting that they're sitting on the beach and they're making $1 million. Number one, if it's not a scam, and bullshit.
Yeah, you have to filter.
You have to read through that one first.
Yeah.
Right. But these people have built their business around themselves. They've prioritized themselves, and they've created their business around the lifestyle that they wanted. They don't hustle for 15 years and then, yay, now I get to take 10 vacations a year. No, they have built their business around what they wanted to create and how they wanted to create it. And that includes prioritizing yourself. So taking the time out to work out, like it's not unusual for you to see me get up. Well, no one does here at my home office, but I'll get up in between meetings. I'm not going to check an email. I may get out of a meeting. I don't talk to anyone. I don't look at anything. I get up and I go away.
Yep.
And I go out and walk. I go out and see my cat, or because I'm like 80, I go out with my flowers, or I go do something else because I love it. Like that's just part of me. It de-stresses. I may even go eat lunch and read for an hour.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not checking.
do that too. I don't read. I watch Hallmark movies in the middle of the day sometimes while I eat lunch.
I mean, I might catch up on The Voice. Like there's another one, like my DVR shows. Like I might be catching up on those. But the point is that it's something I can just stand up from a meeting. My team is not going to hear from me. No one's going to hear from me. I'm not checking this. I'm not scrolling to, oh, I got an email. I got to respond to that. No, I'm going to come back and I have time set aside for that. But I'm going to take time away. And that's it. I'm going to cut it off at night. That's it. And it's freeing. And you actually have a life. Listen, I've been there. I know a lot of us have been there. My picture is next to the definition of burnout in the dictionary. Swear. Look it up. Like mental, physical, all of the things that can happen right here. Like I've been there. It's, oh, but if I work a little bit longer, I can just get caught up and then I can have a break.
Yep.
Then I'm going to put myself first, right? Yep. That day never fucking comes. Yep. Never comes. You have to put yourself first and then work everything else around. That can be hard transition to make if you're already in the middle of it. And there are ways to do it, I promise. And we can help you out with that on how to transition and whatnot. But it's number one, transitioning and then diagnosing why that happened. Are you still doing what you're supposed to be doing? Because you're clearly not doing business the way you want to do it. So now we go back, we go to the root of what's happening. We go to the root and figure out, is it you? Is it what you're doing? Is it what you're not doing? Is it just, we need to build it around a different way? All of the things. You figure out the root of the issue, and then you learn to do business your way. You do it again. Yeah. We've all had to start over.
Yeah. I'm on like round 3. I think. Yeah. Around 3-ish, maybe 3.5. But yeah.
So, even though we're telling you this, we didn't do it overnight.
No. And we've had to do it more than once.
But the bonus is we've learned the hard way. Now we can help you maybe not learn quite as difficult as we did.
Yeah.
Maybe you can cut some corners and save yourself some time.
Corners or cut the crap, which I did actually want to mention while we were on. Yes. Some of you have already registered, probably, but a simple place to start is to just get the help to guide you through, like beyond this session here, to guide you through what it is that you need to identify so that you can refine things, so that you can simplify things, so that you can get really, really clear on the things that are right for you, so that you can do less, so that you can make more. Sorry, I guess I should have put that up on the screen. There we go. So I wanted to share, Cut the Crap is literally the name of the newest program that I created for this exact reason, honestly. And as we were talking about, like, what are we going to talk about today? Like, honestly, like as we were talking about, like this right here, this is the problem for so many of you. So it is still on Black Friday special until tomorrow, ultimately, through the end of the day tomorrow. $55, 3 sessions, and I'm going to walk you through exactly how to redefine, how to simplify, where to look so that you can do less, can make more, and give you that guidance that you need for the next step. So I'm going to take this off of the screen now because I feel like it's blocking our faces, but cut the crap. If you're interested in that, send them that. I know, like, I gotta like
no. But yes, no, she will actually give you like the starting tools to start going into that process and figuring this out. There are people that can help you. And I think I see a question, what do you do when you need to get away and you can't afford to get away? So yeah, that it's a struggle, and it's a struggle for a lot of people. They're like, that's great. Your life sounds awesome. You can pick up and go, you can get away. You're doing great. What do I do over here? Because I'm stuck in the middle of it and I can't get away. And that is a fabulous question. You start small. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to start with the big 10-day vacation to exotic islands just to get away and have some peace. So you start small. What activities bring you joy? What activities let you disconnect from the world? What activity is it? Is it a hot bath? Do you really love baths? Like, can you just disconnect when you go take a bath? Is it leaving your house, going to a coffee shop down the road for 30 minutes and sitting there and drinking a coffee? Is it reading a book? Is it putting a puzzle together? Okay, so 30 minutes every night, you're going to go put a puzzle together. This thing is not coming with you.
Yeah.
Right?
For me, I literally schedule like things like that into my day, so it doesn't, to your point, it doesn't have to be anything big. It's just, what is something that brings you some level of joy or relaxation? You can work up to the 2-week trip to wherever, right? But something else I'm going to just say here, and I know that no one loves to hear this, is instead of telling yourself, and this is, that you can't afford to get away, what do you do when you need to get away, but you can't afford to? Because then you always have that in your head too. Like, I can't do what I actually want to do. And you're going to then stress yourself out over that. So don't look at it that way. Say, what can I do to get a quick little reprieve in my day to give me that feeling, feel as though I went away without actually doing it. Right. Like kind of shifting the way that we look at things, because I'm saying that because I know for me, that's something nobody told me, like I would say in the beginning, but honestly, like I was well into my business before I realized like some of the things that I was doing in terms of just the way I was talking and showing up were sabotaging me from actually allowing those things to happen in my life too, because I just didn't even believe it was possible. So it's just something little.
I mean, start with, I love that. And I know people don't always like to hear it, but if you shift in the vocabulary that you use, I know I was called out big time for this, and I probably should still be called out big time. Like, it's sometimes you don't realize what comes out of your mouth until someone actually will tell you, don't say I can't. Right? Say I can. Maybe you can't or aren't able to make room right now for the big 2-week vacation, but what you can make room for right now are the little breaks. And then you say, well, what do I need to put in place to get me to the 2-week vacation? And then you work to put in a plan on what you need to put in place to get there, all while still taking those little breaks and those like mini vacations and those mini ways to keep you a priority. So it's a process to get to, especially if you are in the thick and in the weeds of business and you're trying to struggle and juggle life and juggle business and you're overwhelmed and you're behind on client deliverables. Sometimes you have to take that step back. And sometimes that is getting someone else to help you walk through that and figure out that plan. But it's not that you can't. It's you don't have the right things in place to do that yet.
Yeah.
But you can. So there are people, Lori and I being two of them,
that
can actually identify what steps you have to start out with and how you need to prioritize that. I mean, it has taken both of us, and we're still works in progress, guys. We're not perfect, but it's taken us years to figure out the hard way of how to work this into our day. And there was a lot of falling flat on our face and picking ourselves back up or being picked back up by other people going, what are you doing? And so a lot of hard knocks, a lot of hard lessons.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been there. We can walk you through where to start and how to get going, and not continue to do this for 5 more years before you actually invest in yourselves. That's the other part of it. So I'm totally going to switch gears. That's the other part of it. So getting to know you, clearly we're passionate about this, but getting to know you is the root of learning how to do business your way. But you have to be willing to invest in yourself. And when I say invest, I'm not always talking about money. I'm not talking about go get the $100,000 a year coach or whatever, and that's the only way, you're investing in yourself. No. Reading, self-help books. There are proper courses. There are proper masterminds that will give you the tools, not just say, this is my way and it's my way to the highway. There are programs and lower ticket that can help you on this journey. But part of that investment is time. If you're not willing to invest time in yourself, you're not willing to invest the money in yourself.
Exactly.
You have to take the time. And that investment is going out for a 10-minute walk. That's all you can get in, you go get it in. I was just talking about this in my networking group today. How to pull out those times. And then once you make them a habit, you do it for at least 30 days. You commit to making it a habit. It's a whole lot easier in life, right? A whole lot easier to add it in. You start small. I don't check my phone thing in the morning. I'm not going to wake up to that. I do not check it. I get up halfway. I get my cup of coffee, and I'm going to chill. I used to work out first thing. I don't even do that. I chill. I start my day. I'm like, this is, I'm going to start very easy and relaxed into my day.
Yep. Me too. The first thing I do in the morning when I wake up before I even get out of bed is tapping or meditation. But literally, usually my husband's sleeping next to me as I'm doing this before I do anything else. Since I can no longer drink coffee.
Yeah, but I shouldn't be drinking coffee. But I think it's more the habit. I just need to, it's one thing I'm working on. I've got to work on that one. But it's just, there are ways to do it that you are investing in yourself because you're choosing to put you as a priority. And whether that's time, whether that does require a money investment, but you're choosing to put you first, learn about yourself, invest in yourself, discover all of the things. You are the most important part of this. Your business is not.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
So doing business your way has to start with you.
Your business success is a byproduct of your personal success.
When you run it ragged, you try hustle mode, hustle mentality. My gosh, I have a whole presentation speech on hustle mentality. Don't get me started. Go down, but it's so ingrained in us. I mean, I was raised to have a good work ethic. I was raised very well. I'm very proud of how I was raised, but it lends right into you work hard, you earn what you work. If you work harder, you're going to earn more, right? Yeah. It kind of lends into that hustle mentality. You do more, you're going to get more, and you're going to be more successful. And while there's a part of that I agree with, and I will always have a pretty dedicated and loyal work ethic, I can't show up to that work ethic unless I take care of myself first. Exactly. And so that has become my priority. My work ethic's already there.
Yeah, exactly. You do need to take action. You do need to do work, but you're not going to be good for it if you don't prioritize yourself first. And that is how you do it. I mean, that is how you do business your way, is you I know we came very full circle here, but that's where you start.
We did.
That's where you start.
That's what we do.
And you cut the crap, right? You cut the crap. So
Yeah.
again, if you want that info, just let me know. But
Yeah.
this is, hope this has been helpful for those of you who are here live. We're trying out a new time frame here too. I think I don't usually do evening live. So also tell us if you like this time of day for lives, doing a little testing.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, let us know if what you guys want to hear about. I mean, we are talking about redefining entrepreneurship, learning how to do business your way. It's not old school, it's your way. So what do you want to hear about?
Yep. So yeah, we take oh my God.
Requests.
Why couldn't I think of that word? Okay, this is what happens when I do lives at the end of the day, apparently. But yes, we do take requests. If you're watching the replay, let us know, and we will also see in the comments. Just tag us. So
awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. Have a fantastic evening, morning, I guess, depending on where you are in the world. And we'll talk to you very, very soon.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Join us next time.